Alex Pereira defends his light heavyweight championship belt against Jamahal Hill at UFC 300, and I can't wait for this matchup. But unfortunately for Jamahal Hill, because I've never got a pick wrong on this channel before, I think Alex Pereira is going to knock him out with a left hook in round number 2 of their fight. I was originally leaning towards Jamahal Hill knocking out Alex Pereira with straight punches, but I just think he's coming back a little bit too soon from his torn Achilles. And I just want to give a little timeline of Jamahal Hill's 2023. January 22nd, Jamahal Hill fought Glover Teixeira at UFC 283, and he really beat the shit out of him, to be honest with you. Jamahal had an amazing performance. He made Glover look like the 43-year-old man he was at the time. But then, unfortunately for Jamahal Hill, 6 months later in July, he tore his Achilles tendon playing basketball with Bilal Muhammad. Now, according to Google, it takes on average 6 months to return to low impact activities like walking after tearing your Achilles tendon. But let's give Jamahal Hill the benefit of the doubt. Let's say, you know what, he got the best doctors probably from the UFC. Let's say it took him 5 months. That means in December, Jamahal Hill would have started being able to walk properly again. And no way was he doing any like MMA training, like such as like grappling or using those nasty kicks that he was using against Glover. At most, he was probably lifting some weights that he could lift, staying somewhat fit, maybe on an exercise bike because it's low impact, and hitting and working on boxing, hitting some mitts or something like that. No way was he being able to train his full repertoire of MMA skills, so he's going to be rusty. And then it also says 9 months is when you can get into high impact activities like running and stuff. Definitely not getting kicked in the leg by a scary Brazilian Alex Pereira, okay? Definitely not. And I'm just worried about how the time works out here. So let's say, so July, 6 months later would be January, and then 3 months after that, so it'll be 9 months after the tear, would be March. So about now is when Jamahal Hill should really have been able to start going back to proper training. But the problem is that he's fighting Alex in about 1.5 months, and training camps usually take like what 8 to 10 weeks. So he should have started training camp in February, which would have been too early for his because of his injury. I don't like this for Jamahal Hill. I think he's going to be going into the fight nervous, knowing that he's not at his best, knowing that his skills have probably declined, if anything, since the Glover Teixeira fight. Because he had 6 months after the fight of just improving his skills and getting better, but then he had 6 to 9 months of just of nothing but recovery from his injury. So he wasn't getting better, and if you're not getting better, you're obviously going to be getting worse. So I think that's going to be in the back of his mind. He's going to know mentally that he's not 100%, and he's going to be a little bit worried about. I think he's going to be worried about his leg, and that's going to open up. He's going to be so worried about his leg, about his injury coming back up again, that it's going to leave him open on the leave him upstairs for punches, and especially hooks from Alex, which we all know about Alex's left hook, just S tier punch, absolutely amazing. I don't think the injury is going to come back up, but I just think the mental factor is just going to play too much into Jamahal Hill's mind that it's going to leave him and he's going to get clipped. And even though Alex is the older guy in this fight, 36 years old, he's almost younger in MMA years. We all know he's only been training MMA for, what, like 5 years now, full time? Before that, he was a glory kickboxer. He's just obviously a freak athlete. And I think his rate of improvement, because he's so new to MMA, is going to be a lot more than Jamahal Hill's rate of improvement at the moment. Especially considering what I just said, Jamahal Hill being injured and stuff, and probably has declined since his last fight. I just think we're going to see the best. It seems like every time we see Alex Pereira, we see the best version of him. Every single time we see him, it's a new, best, improved version of him. And it makes sense because he's so new to the game. And even when there's even a massive difference from 2 fights ago to last fight. When he fought Jan, we could kind of see that he wasn't really built to be a light heavyweight, which I know it sounds crazy because he's 6'4" and absolutely massive, but he did look like the middleweight version of himself that just didn't cut weight. Like, he looked strong and stuff, of course, and he was in good shape for the fight, but we could see he had a little, not a belly, but there was a little bit of like flab or something there. Not flab, but you know what I mean. Like it wasn't good quality muscle. But then in the Yuri fight, he looked shredded, but he looked bigger. So it looked like he packed on more muscle in the fight, more useful muscle. And I think this fight, he's just gonna be even bigger, scarier, stronger, light heavyweight. The best we've ever seen from him. I think he's gonna have an amazing performance. Additionally, we know momentum in the sport is such a massive thing. It's so important. If you've got a good win streak going, your win streak's more likely to continue going. We see guys all the time. They're winning like 5 fights in a row or something like that. Then they lose one, and it's just so hard for them to get back on a streak. They just go 1-1 after that. You know what I mean? Just one lose, one win, one lose, one win. So Alex Pereira's got a streak going. I don't think Jamahal Hill's going to be the guy to snap it. And I think Alex Pereira's hungry as shit right now. He knows he's an older guy. He knows he might not have that much time left in the sport, even though he's so new to it. He might have, like, he's gonna be 40 in 4 years. He knows this is the time he can make all the money in the world right now. He's gonna be super hungry. He seems really disciplined right now. And I think he's gonna get it done. And I've seen people saying that Alex Pereira's been out partying and stuff, and what's her name, Merle, his ex-wife, he broke up with her because she actually still had a husband apparently. I think Alex Pereira is too much of just an absolute stoic Chad to really let that affect him. I think he's going to turn up. He's going to turn up for UFC 300. I know he will. And I think Jamahal Hill's going to be hungry as shit as well. But again, I just think those mental factors. But I am worried for my pick because Jamahal Hill was an absolute savage. Look what he did to Glover, Alex Pereira's mentor, on 4 weeks' notice. And also, we've seen Alex Pereira get caught by straight punches, especially from Izzy before he got knocked out pretty much 2 times by Izzy with straight punches. One time at the end of the first round in their first UFC fight. If there was like 4 or 5 more seconds left, Alex would have been out cold. Let's just be honest. I love Pereira, but it's true. Izzy would have knocked him out. And then in the second fight, he actually did get knocked out by Izzy with that straight right. And Jamahal Hill has I was watching some of his highlights. He's got some nasty boxing combos. Alex Pereira is an amazing kickboxer, but sometimes I think it's almost like he forgets that he's not wearing, that his opponent and him aren't wearing those big glory 12-ounce gloves, and it's just fists now. So I just don't like the way Alex Pereira pulls back, just leans his head back, and I wish he like bobs his head more to the side more than it's like pulling back away, because he can get caught by straight punches. We've seen him in other fights get caught, but not knocked out like he did against Izzy. And there's no secret about Jamahal Hill that he's got that power to absolutely flatline people. I mean, look what he did to Johnny Walker. It made him look like a Looney Tunes character when he got knocked out. So yeah, I think Alex Pereira's gonna win the fight, but Jamahal Hill's an absolutely savage dog, and I think he's gonna put up a really good fight, but I think he's gonna get caught. But it's Jamahal Hill. You can really never count him out. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe. This is the first video. Just having fun with it, seeing what happens. Make sure to subscribe. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.